This guy was born in 1955, 1955, but he's only 18 years old. How is that possible?
Before you drop it for him, Rob, I'm gonna say what I thought my answer was. He was born in 1955, but like that was military time. So it was 7:55 when he was born, 7:55 p.m. But you shot me down. You said, nah, that ain't it.
Close, though. It's real simple. He was born in room 1955. One of these old school jokes. You got one rabbi, you got one white Caucasian, you got one African American, you got one Asian, all sitting in the room trying to figure out who to vote for, what they have in common.
You got BPTV, we got Rob, and I am John. What's up, dude?
What's happening, man?
Man, ain't too many. But look, before I forget, before we get too far into this episode, man, shout out to Deuce, man.
Yeah, Deuce Jacko. He's a Zydeco player. And he, like he said, he blesses with the intro and outro. You hear that's our own original piece that he donated to us.
About Zydeco, man. That's, you know how like DC got the go-go thing, and Chicago and Kansas City got their own little two-step vibe.
You know something, man? This is what we're gonna do with that. We're gonna get Deuce to do it for us. So when we interview Deuce and put him on there,
man, we gotta get him to come down, man. Yeah. Tell me, man, did you see something interesting this week to make you feel like we gotta get our people better prepared to vote?
Always. But we're gonna stay on course. We gotta get these people what we promised them from the last episode.
Disenfranchisement.
Or what makes them qualified, or what makes them eligible or ineligible to vote. So we need to put some of these rumors to rest. Some people not voting because they think they can't.
Okay.
So break it down for the disenfranchisement. What does that mean to you?
Now, the technical term is the state of being deprived of a right or a privilege. So it actually means that you've been purged from being a citizen of this democracy.
Okay.
Several states, I mean, you could be imprisoned and vote, you know?
Vermont and Maine is actually two states. Vermont and Maine, if you living in them areas and you listen to us, and they tell you can't vote, there's no restrictions on voting. As long as you registered, there's no restriction. That's the only thing stopping you from your right to vote is you.
So we broke down what disenfranchisement is. It's also a term that they throw out called re-enfranchisement. And that means it admits your citizenship back in to society. So you are reinstored the right to vote. Interestingly speaking enough, the governor down here in Louisiana, he signed a House bill May 31st, if I'm not mistaken, of 2018. And it enabled people on probation or parole to vote. You know, so okay, so it's currently in the state of Louisiana, re-enfranchisement regarding the restoration of your voting rights is a multi-step process after a felony conviction. You must appear in person at the Register of Voters office, complete a voter registration application, and provide documentation to prove that you have completed your probation and/or parole and that you have not been incarcerated within the last 5 years. What was it, Rob? Go vote?
Go vote. So you saying in the state of Louisiana, if you in prison, on parole, or on probation, that makes you ineligible to vote, right? So if you're not,
it used to be that way. So it used to be that way. So if you ain't been in prison for 5 years, right, you're off of parole.
Off of parole, off of probation, right? The thing you have to do, you might become an inactive voter. Now,
What's an inactive voter, dude?
and really, an inactive voter is people that hasn't as simple as changing the address. If you move and you don't change your address, and you wait election time pass, you come on a inactive voters list, and you can't vote because you have to vote in your area. You can, I mean, we use in Louisiana. That's where we at.
It's like districts, right? Like
District,
voting districts.
right? Cities, district, right? Districts. So if you coming from, say, Shreveport, Louisiana, move to Lake Charles, Louisiana, you might be a registered voter in Louisiana, but you're not registered in Lake Charles to vote, protocol go vote. You walk in, you have to show your ID. If your ID address doesn't match the address they have on the list, you can't vote for that in that district. It's over 190,000 inactive voters in the state of Louisiana.
190,000.
190,000.
Oh, that's a big number. What made you start thinking about something like that?
Well, because we sat there and talked about things that make you ineligible to vote. I moved out of district, even though I'm only 2 miles from my old address. So I went to vote in my district where I'm supposed to vote at, and they told me I wasn't on the list. But my address was updated on my ID card.
Right.
But I thought it was all by name. So they said, no, you can't vote here. Just luckily, I'm still in the same city, so I just had to drive another 2 or 3 miles somewhere else to go vote.
To carry on to that, I think that's important because a lot of people say that they're intimidated by the voting process. And like you said, they may get frustrated standing in line all this time. They already had in their mind what they was going to choose on the ballot. They get there to go back there to the back. They call out their name and you can't vote in this district.
Right. Now they got to go home, cook dinner, put them beans and rice on. It take a little while, and they don't want to wait. Now, even though you come up as a inactive voter, the state will notify you. They're gonna send you at least 2 postcards to say you're gonna be in inactive status. Man, it's like 6.1 million people in America that's like an inactive voter.
Wait, 6.1. So it's 190,000 in the state of Louisiana, but it's 6.1 million in the nation.
Well, 6.1 million that falls under the felony, probation, parole, if they in that status.
Oh, the disenfranchised.
Right.
The ones that are purged from the democracy. Right. It's a good brother down in Florida, man, Desmond Meade. He's a ex-convicted felon that regained his right to vote. But something interesting they're doing in Florida is they're making you pay almost like a restitution, like so they gotta pay their fines to the court, and a lot of times they can't afford it. So what the good brother Desmond is doing is, and his organization is, they're reaching out to felons and the ones that they can help pay their restitution fee. They're helping them do that. And I mean, if we can help you, Desmond, but we salute you too, man, at what you're doing.
And then, let me ask you this. It doesn't matter, but I'm just curious, is he African American?
Yes, he is.
That's good, because the numbers are high on that too. Like one out of every 13 African Americans have lost their privileges to vote. 1 out of every 13.
So we know what disenfranchisement means, and we know what re-enfranchisement means. So we're trying to encourage you on the re-enfranchisement process. So by us saying that In some states, you got to pay. In some states, it's a multi-step process. You got to bring paperwork from your parole officer, your probation officer. Don't let that discourage you in participating in this democracy, because we're more powerful in numbers.
Exactly. So that one person saying my one vote doesn't count. If everybody's saying that, we're losing numbers. You know,
Yeah,
1 + 1 can't be 2 if you that one person don't come and vote or come and add 2. You got to keep adding. If you subtract, we keep going down.
A major value-adding criteria that we try to encourage our community on this platform is to participate in this democracy by voting. So felons, ex-felons in the state of Louisiana, if you've been good for 5 years, come on, register, man.
Hit us up on in the comments below.
Yeah,
do that.
yeah.
Subscribe to us. We can try to help you as much as we can. And more than likely, your 5 years is gonna be your probation or your parole. So as soon as you get that, as soon as you come off of that, you can be registered to vote and make your voice heard.
We hope that you found this information beneficial and that you take it and help add value creation to our community. But more importantly, we got something special coming up for y'all centennial of the women's rights to vote. Rob, talk to them about it.
Yeah, we're gonna put on a little mini series for y'all. We're gonna try to get some women to come in. We're gonna interview them, talk.
Some influential women, yeah.
Some women with platforms.
Subscribe to us because you'll get the alerts when we drop the new. So look, y'all, that was a little quick tidbit from BPTV. Hope to see y'all next time. And remember, the best way to vote is to be informed.
Yep.